probably all three of us can relate to this, but probably, Kristen, from what you and I have talked about, probably you and I more, is being a kid and being a complete little social freak of a kid and other people not understanding you at all and not you not being able to relate to them and not knowing why they're not relating to you. And then when you figure out one social rule, that becomes your dogma. That is your Bible. And you're like,
right.
Oh, yes, okay, I figured out this one thing. And if you see someone else violating that rule, like doing something a little strange, you want to distance yourself from them as much as possible to be like, I'm not in that tribe. I am not one of the freaks. Look,
exactly.
Look at me. I figured it out.
I'm normal.
Yes.
They said that we'd grow out of it. Well, the joke's on them, that's just our brains. We're eccentric, loud, and stubborn. And most of our clothing is covered in stains. It's not a deficit of attention. There's just too much to think about. So if executive dysfunction becomes a little too much, if you forgot why you came in this room, or you're hypersensitive to touch, then put on your seamless socks and come join our little flock. Bitches stimming together, we're weirds of a feather. Weirds of a feather. Ah! Caw-caw!
Okay, we're officially going.
All right.
Huzzah.
Okay.
Huzzah! All right. And with that, let's kick things off and say welcome to Weirds of a Feather, an AuDHD-Adjacent podcast. I'm your host, Grace Beret.
I'm your host, Kristen Stanhope.
And we are joined by my close friend and former roommate, Tori.
Hello, hello.
Welcome.
Thanks.
So glad you're finally joining us.
Yeah.
After years of talking about getting you on the podcast. I was kind of waiting for you to actually listen to an episode first, but I guess we're just going to do it anyways.
Hey, I listened. I listened to 2.
2?
Yeah.
3 years of recording.
And I had to send them to her.
Well, which one?
But
now I'm interested.
I sent her Ted's because I thought those were a really good example of a guest episode.
Yeah, those were great. I liked those a lot.
Yeah, it was good. But you'll be even better. So maybe.
Oh, I don't know. Ted's got some stories.
Ted does have
Ted
some stories.
loves to talk. Ted just came in my office the other day and he's like, look at my reusable bag. It has pelicans on it. And I was like, cool. It's like 5:30. I'm trying to go home. He's like, they don't sell bags like these. Okay. They do.
I feel like they do.
But he's very excited about
pelicans. Love it. All right. So normally we start the podcast with a warm-up question just to kind of get everyone loosey-goosey. I didn't have anything specific for you because I really just want you and Kristen to be able to talk about your chickens for a little bit because I know that's an interest that you both share and I hear it from both of you about your chickens.
Yeah.
And so I'd rather just connect the two of you so you guys can talk about your chickens. So Tori, please tell us about your flock.
Oh my gosh. Wow. This is the best.
Look at her eyes
so
light
excited.
Up. So wait, I have to tell you guys to start off. When I start talking about my chickens, I have a very hard time stopping and realizing when other people are no longer interested. But I now am hyper aware of this because I was at a party last summer, and there was a woman there who was the sister of a friend of mine, and she's an actual real farmer who lives in North Dakota or South Dakota or some farm place. And she's a real farmer, has animals, hogs, cows, all the things.
Whoa.
This is her profession. And so at some point, she and I were talking, and I was like, oh, we can talk about farm animals and chickens because I'm really interested in this. And so we talked, and time goes on. Party continues. Later, I was walking by, and I overheard her talking to someone else. And she was like, yeah, I met this woman earlier. She's really into her chickens.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. You're that girl.
And I had no concept. I was like, oh my God, I thought that I was really letting loose about talking about chickens because she's a farm person. So I was like, yeah, we're open to guess. But anyway, yeah, so that's the degree. Anyway, thank you so much for asking me about my chickens. That
Of course.
is so kind of you. Let me tell you about my
Mm.
flock. So
Please.
right now I have 9 chickens, which is
Whoa.
insane because I live in basically downtown Seattle. I can see the
I was
skyscrapers
going to say, what's
from my
the
house.
limit on chickens?
The limit on chickens is technically, okay, it depends on how you read the law. It's either 3 per person per household.
What if you read it correctly?
or 8 chickens. So I'm either 3 over or 1 over, depending on how you look at it.
Either
Don't
way.
send-
Regardless, you're over.
Don't send the fuzz, you guys. Like,
I'm sending this episode to the city of Seattle.
Anyway, so I have 9 chickens. 3 of them are full adults. I've had them for like 2 years. And then the other 6 are babies, 3 of which I got as babies after my big car accident in April because I needed something to do while I recovered from my traumatic brain injury that was not cognitively taxing. So I got some more baby chickens. And then a few weeks ago, we bought a house and I got super overwhelmed with all the things that we have to do with like renovations and planning and all of that. And what do I do when I get overwhelmed? I
Add more to your plate.
add more to my plate. So I went and I got 3 more chickens because I was just having a little meltdown. And it's great. It's been great. They're awesome. I have a buff Orpington,
Ooh.
a blue sapphire gem,
Oh,
and
I don't know that one.
a standard Americana,
Oh, nice.
a salmon faverolles.
That sounds fancy.
It's pretty fancy. She's got a little beard and like fluff on her feet. She's great.
Oh,
A salmon faverolles. Ooh, an English Jubilee Orpington, which sounds really cool, but she was born just brown. No, she doesn't have any of the cool speckles that she's supposed to have. So that's hilarious. Oh, a French black copper Moran.
Ooh.
I know. Yeah, very fun.
I
Very
know.
fun.
Pretty cool.
A black a black Americana, a white giant Cochin,
Whoa.
and a splash sapphire splash.
You've got quite the mix up.
Yes, I do extensive research and find all of the and like Washington is quite rural. There's a lot of farms here and stuff like that, and a lot of hobbyists. And I found this guy on Craigslist who he listed like 55 breeds of chickens that he has, and I was like, that's more chickens than I knew existed. That's wild. So I texted him, and I was like home alone this weekend. There is no one who knows where I'm going or anything. So I'm texting with this Craigslist man. He, like, for his profile photo, he looks like a terrifying, like, bearded giant, super tall, like packed lip in the photo, like the whole thing. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to drive an hour and a half into the boonies to go meet with this man by myself and not tell anyone where I'm
at
going.
all.
And I did. And he was so delightful. And I was supposed to be there for like 20 minutes to pick out 3 chickens. Me and Kyle hung out for 2.5 hours.
His name's Kyle.
His name is Kyle. And he showed me all of his 350 chickens. And it was so nice. And I could have stayed there all day. And at the end, he texted me. He was like, I really enjoyed our visit. It was so nice.
Oh, Kyle.
It was
Just
really
a
cute.
man and his chickens.
Yeah, this bit,
Nothing like it.
He loved them, and I was, and at the end, literally, I was just like, it was so nice talking chickens for 2.5 hours. So yeah, it was great.
Now, did you get all of yours as little babies, or did you get any like fully functional adults?
So the 3 that I just got from Kyle, my boy, out in Covington, Washington.
Shout out to Kyle.
Shout out to Kyle.
I will link his little profile at the end of this because if anybody in Washington wants chickens, this is your guy. He's incredible.
Tori's got a guy for
delight.
you.
I really do. So the 3 that I got from him were pullets. So they're like 10 weeks old. No, I'm sorry. They're like 14 weeks old now.
Okay. Yeah.
How was the introduction of combining the broods? Because I know that's something challenging that Kristen went through.
Mhm.
Deep challenge. Complete
Yeah.
mayhem. Kristen, I want to hear about your story because it's just been bloodbath over here.
Yeah. So we bought all of ours. So we have chickens. We started last year and we got them they were like 2 days hatched or something. We live near a local farm store, so we go there to get and they have a bunch of different breeds. So we went there, and then those were fine. And then this year I was like, let's get more. So we got 3 more. More. Yeah. So we're at almost max capacity. Where I live, you're allowed to have 8 with no roosters. And we have 6. So we raise them in our furnace room, and we have like a little mini pen for them, which is probably not ideal because they're like next to the furnace. I can't imagine that's great for them, but they're surviving. They're thriving.
Well, they like heat, so when they're babies, you know,
right? So it's fine. Because I don't want them like, I don't know. We have cats. I don't want them getting eaten or anything. So we raise them in the furnace room, and then when they're old enough, we have like snow fencing that we put like around our run, and then they can like see each other through the fence. And there was a lot of like bloody fights through the fence.
Yeah.
And it was a little overwhelming. And our chickens, they're very spoiled. So I don't know, like, why are you fighting? There's plenty of food. There's plenty of water. Just get along.
Social hierarchy. They have a very hierarchical society. It's really interesting. And the way how like the dominant is, because especially in the city where we can't have roosters, you don't have a male.
Yeah.
So the hen at the top of the pecking order really starts to take on a masculine role.
Yeah.
And do yours does your like top hen mount the other hens?
So no, but she does like pluck all the feathers out of.
Girl.
Like she has like one hen that she just plucks all the tail feathers out of over and over again. And that hen isn't even at the bottom of the pecking order. She just like really hates.
Have you heard of no peck?
No. What is that?
It's like a powder or a cream. Kyle told me about it. He hooked me up. It's like a powder or a cream that you put on a chicken that's getting just fucked up by the other chickens, and it like tastes really bad, and so the other chickens stop pecking them.
Maybe I'll have to do that.
Yeah, it's a thing.
I
like
think
a dog eating dog poop.
Yeah,
kind of.
That's right. They're finally getting along. It's been a long introduction. They're all like sleeping in the same coop and everything.
Nice.
But they're finally like kind of getting along. Every once in a while you'll hear something and I'm like, what's going on? Cut it out. But they're fine. But yeah, we get them when they're like little babies, and then we raise them. It's very cute until they start getting to like their uggo stage.
We call that the raptor stage.
Yeah, they're like real.
They look like such dinos. Crazy.
I'm dying. It's
For
too
listeners.
Yeah,
Kristen
just removed herself from the blanket fort she was under and emerged like a troll.
And I'm rethinking.
You sound fine. You don't need the blankets. The blankets are overkill.
Thank God. But now I'm like a silhouette. I look like
fix your hair. Yeah, maybe turn.
You look a little crazy.
What's wrong?
Maybe take a minute to fix yourself.
I can't. I can barely get my hair in a ponytail because I fucked up my finger, and I have to wear a splint for the next 6 months.
Oh no!
I tore a ligament completely from my finger trying to take off a compression sock, which is really embarrassing.
Are you 97?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Such an elderly injury.
It's so embarrassing that I was like at the orthopedic clinic, and I was like, they're like, how did you even do this? It's completely torn. And I'm like, and they're like, was it embarrassing? I was like, They're like, can you tell us? I was like, I was trying to take off a sock. I thought they were thinking it was going to be like something sexual. And I was like, no, I was just trying to take off a sock.
Well, you really set them up for disappointment there. They were expecting some kind of story of... Never mind.
Boo is joining us.
Of what?
No, nothing is fine.
I'll bleep it out. And then it'll seem like you're saying something really crude.
Great. We know I'm the crudest.
You are. You can be.
All right.
Yeah, take a minute to...
Let me take a minute, because I'm like dying.
I don't want you to be shrouded in shadow.
And my cats have entered. And so now this is... How'd you get in here? Okay. 5 minutes. 2 minutes. 1 minute.
Make it faster than that.
30 seconds.
Oh, Myrtle. Hi, Myrtle.
There she is.
Oh, my sweet girl.
Myrtle and
miss her.
And a cat butt.
Oh.
And a cat,
You have a cat?
No,
I have a cat.
Oh.
I'm allergic to cats. I can't.
So am I. I just got a cat hair in my eye the other night from babysitting, and it was a nightmare. No.
Okay.
Oh, one more thing I want to say about my chickens is that one of my chicken goals is to have one of every color egg.
Oh, how many colors are there for eggs?
There's a lot of colors for eggs. Right now, I have light brown, dark brown, white, and light blue.
Ooh.
And
I realized that was a chicken possibility.
Oh, yeah. And what I'm missing is like this olive green color that I really would like. But maybe one more chicken in the future. They do get, picked off every once in a while by raccoons and stuff. So we'll see.
I'm going to say, once one dies, you can replace it.
Yeah. That's sad, though.
Have you lost one yet? Have you gone through?
I've lost 3. 1 to an owl and 2 to raccoons.
No.
An owl?
An owl.
Oh my God.
No.
Yeah, it's
I didn't realize that was a thing.
I didn't know it was a thing either. Like, I know there's owls here, but I don't know. I wasn't thinking about that. And
yeah,
the chicken was just gone. There was like a little puff of feathers, but it was just gone. Like when a raccoon eats it, there's like a trail of feathers everywhere. It's like a horrible murder scene. So it wasn't that. And we were like, that's weird. Where did it go? There's just a puff of feathers and then nothing else. And then Justin was walking like 3 blocks away and he saw another huge pile of chicken feathers down on the ground under a tree. He was like, this is insane. This is my chicken's feathers. And he looked up in the tree and there's this really fat, happy owl sitting right there. Like,
that bastard.
Looking nice and content. And so it was an owl.
How the hell did an owl even eat a chicken? Like, I'm having trouble wrapping my brain around that.
Owls eat all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, but I think of them as like taking a mouse and like choking it back,
No, they rip. They like hold stuff down with their feet and like rip strips out. Great.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent.
It's like a way less interesting version of The Staircase. That case where they speculate that an owl killed the woman by like attack. She had like some like a woman was found dead at the bottom of the stairs, and the husband claims that it was
real,
an owl.
Yes,
this is real.
Oh,
this is a real true crime.
I was
case.
like, is this a riddle or is this true crime?
A woman is found at the bottom of the stairs.
Well, you started with an owl. I was like, this is like a children's story or something. Like,
no, it's real.
Okay,
where the man made the claim that it wasn't him who killed his wife and pushed her down the stairs. It was that an owl had attacked her at the top of the stairs and I think it was his second wife. His second wife who was found dead at the bottom of the stairs.
I mean, honestly, you should have said crow. Crows are the ones that are like dive bombing you. There were crows on my street that dive bomb me because they recognize faces and they don't like me for some reason.
What'd you do?
So I went out with a plate of donuts to try and placate them, because if they associate you with like giving them good stuff, then they won't dive bomb you anymore.
Smart.
Did it work?
They ate all the donuts. No, it didn't work. They still dive bomb me.
They still hate you?
Yeah.
They're like, we still hate you, but thank you for those donuts.
But I looked like a fucking psycho because I was like out on the side street and I had a like platter of Entenmann's donuts, like, and I'm holding it above my head, like, please,
your crow offering.
As an offering.
Come here, crow.
Do not attack.
I mean you no harm.
Your neighbors are like, oh, she's out again.
I texted them. I was like, just in case anybody just saw me. Crows have, corvids in general have like excellent facial recognition. They've like formed social groups, and I was offering them donuts so that they would think I was part of their plan. And shout out to that cool UW professor who studies corvids. Anyway, what were we talking about?
I don't know, but let's get into this episode.
Oh,
now that we've warmed up with some chicken talk.
Chickens, raptors, corvids, we really, crossed some avian taxonomical ground there. I'm really excited. Yeah.
Making this a true bird podcast.
Yeah.
That's also what I didn't put that in my list of special interests. Jesus Christ, of course, birding. Hello. Okay, now.
Do you bird? Do you like go bird watching?
Oh, do I bird?
Oh,
not only do I bird, I go on birding vacations. I have now been on several birding vacations.
Speaking of elderly.
Hey,
Well, you got to
It's
come back
something.
to Maine because there's
If
that
the loafer
like
fits.
South American bird that always pops up in Deering Oaks in Portland.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh.
There's like this like weird eagle who apparently has no sense of direction, and he's supposed to be in South America, but I guess every year he comes to Deering Oaks and plucks off all the ducks.
Well,
And people from like around the country come to see this bird because it's like huge. It's like 6 feet tall. And it's just this like big black eagle. Grace, you haven't heard of this? It's like
No.
where you
Where
live.
have I been?
I don't know. Not watching birds.
Apparently not enough.
I'm going to send you some links, some articles.
that
Portland
sounds great.
Press.
Yeah, might have to plan a little trip to Portland, Tori.
Yeah.
Come to
Look at our
Portland to see some
birds.
South American birds. Sounds great.
Birding.
Send
Yeah.
it.
Sounds like you're being sarcastic, but I know you're not.
No.
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 All right.
We're all going.
Well,
We're
now-
all in this now.
Now that you have all been introduced to Tori's love of birds,
Mhm.
let's get into kind of more about who you are and what you're doing here and how we know each other and what your deal is.
Sure. Shall I regale you with
Please.
an
Yes.
overview? Excellent.
Please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kick it off.
All right. So I'm Tori. I'm a PM at Microsoft right now. I'm working on Power BI, which is a data analytics software. And
PM.
oh yes, let me help.
Project manager.
Product manager. So
Product manager.
so I'm responsible for like a certain section of a certain product. And I work with an engineering team. So basically, I make the plans of what we're going to do. And I work with the engineering team who actually does the thing. And I coordinate between them and a design team to, figure out how this thing should look and work. And then the engineers start working on it and we go back and forth. And I help coordinate between multiple teams. It's fun. Grace worked with me over there for a little bit. That was fun times.
That.
2 years ago.
I did.
It was great. And so that's what I do now. But my academic background is in fisheries ecology. So I was a field scientist for a while before transitioning over to tech because I realized that it would be nice to have money sometimes. So that was good. Yeah, that is helpful. And also academia, the pace of academia, I feel like is just really not conducive to my brain at all. They're very long form tasks with very few intermittent rewards. And I hate that with deep passion.
Yes.
And my job now is much more like lots of small tasks that accumulate and you get like lots of intermittent frequent rewards. Just of getting them done or helping someone out or handing something off. And so it works a lot better with how my brain works. And so that's professionally, that's what I do. So I used to do field work, be a scientist, and now I do click clack machine beep boops, and it's great. And outside of that, me and Grace met when I was in grad school for fisheries stuff back at UVM. Grace and I met on Craigslist. Question mark.
It was like UVM's version of Craigslist, I think. It was like their roommate matching platform. So we matched each other on essentially a dating app.
We matched on a dating app that UVM created. And then I brought in our third roommate who I found
the weirdest.
Was it the bagel guy?
He's so weird.
Slam dog.
Slam dog. I found him on Craigslist and like at the time, let's be real, still, I wanted to be surrounded by like interesting people. And so Grace, super weirdo, obviously checked all the boxes.
Yeah.
I was like, heck yeah, this is going to be great. This other guy I found on Craigslist and he was like, I am studying cyborg theory. And I'm also very interested in ballet. I enjoy practicing stretches and ballet in my living room. I'm a big connoisseur of beef stroganoff. Love to cook. And I was like, you're in. I don't know. You sound like a total freak. I love it.
Say no
like,
more.
Come live with me. And
you have me at beef stroganoff.
Totally. And so Grace
Which was a mistake.
Grace never forgave me for that and never understood my criteria.
No, he was fine. It was, you know what? It was an interesting year and it brought the two of us closer together.
It really
did.
did.
I believe. we got to bond over our shared kind of confusion about Dylan / Slim Dog.
But we also really liked him. Like, we had this great admiration for his quirks, and we're always trying to understand his motivations and like what makes him tick. And then he'd just be, you know, doing ballet in the living room, and he had this Turkish sitting cushion that he was so emotionally attached to, and we didn't know that. We thought it was just a piece of furniture, and it's like a sitting cushion, like a leather sitting cushion. It's nice, whatever. Normally sitting cushions are filled with, you know, stuffing, like fluff that you put inside of a pillow.
Any cushion, really.
With newspapers. And we asked him about this. We're like, hey, like, you know, it doesn't seem very fluffed up. It's a little flat. It's like, why are you filling it
really
with
hard? Because it's like compacted. And he was like 6'3". He was like a big guy.
Big guy.
They all got packed down.
It's like this big, like, I don't know, 3 feet by 3 feet. And
it's a big cushion.
We started to dub it the rat sack because it had like, it had a like hole in the side, and newspapers would always kind of be emerging, effluenting from this cushion, and it looked like a nest that like a rodent would live in. We were like, oh, the rat sack, haha, bring it over. And Dylan like harbored like deep resentment about this for a while, and really did not like that we were calling his prized, treasured possession a rat sack.
Did not think it was funny at all. We thought it was like a little joke of like, oh, the rat sack. No, not funny.
Oh my God.
This later came out, and because like when we like someone, when me and Grace like someone, we tool on. Like if you're not getting shat on a little bit, we don't like you.
And if we're too polite, we don't like you.
Yeah. And so Dylan, we were like, yeah, the rat sack. Oh, this is great. You're a fucking weirdo. And he's like, I don't understand why you hate me so. So needless to say,
he was very sensitive.
That was a weird year. Being sensitive about emotional things doesn't really work well with creatures such as ourselves.
Yeah, I don't think we were the most compatible living companions. He was also from Greenwich, Connecticut, by the way, so I just want to make sure we mention that this was not like a money issue. He could afford stuffing for the rat sack.
Yeah, we weren't. He could have
stuffed it. No,
I need more
he's from the wealthiest community in America.
Like, was it like passed down by a relative or something? Like, where? I
need
more information.
We don't know.
No. He told us it was a dear aunt brought it back from her travels in Turkey, something like that. And Dylan, if you're listening, I'm so sorry.
And he was like, "Let me bring it to my college apartment."
Buddy. Yeah.
He would have Strogue. It would be Strogue season from the first snowfall until the snow melts was Strogue season. Strogue season is upon us, is what we would say. And he would make stroganoff like every weekend all winter. He would invite a bunch of people over for it and then buy like the littlest amount of meat you've ever seen and make
would make enough stroganoff
a single
for 2 people.
Portion. Yeah.
And
there was that time on Halloween before we went out for goth night where he invited all the boys over to our house for stroganoff, and Dylan had 1 portion, and it was like me, Justin, Campbell, and Josh all shared the other portion. Like, thanks, Dylan. And he would ask us like pitch in money for it too. So it's like, what am I even paying for? You're not even feeding us.
I had to explain to him that you can't ask people for money when you invite them over for dinner. Like, that's not a thing. I mean, he was very confused.
He should be on this show.
He really should. He's one of us.
Social, yes, for sure.
Yeah, one of us for sure.
But me and Grace are just like, we figured it out better than you, so we're going to bully you. And that's what happened.
Yeah. We've learned the social rules to follow better than you.
Literally story of my life. Like, whenever I meet someone who does not follow the rules as well as I do, and I can tell that they're neurodivergent, I'm instantly like, get away from me. Get away from me. I figured it out.
I do the same thing. I'm like, how dare you?
Because you've internalized this shame around showing this trait. And so therefore, when you see it, it's not like a judgment of them necessarily. It's more so like, how dare you show this trait that I've been told is shameful and you shouldn't? So like, why aren't you hiding it?
There's 2 parts to it. I think that is like a huge one. It's how dare you? I've spent so much time figuring out how to cover this up. Like, why do you get to walk around flying your freak flag? So that's one. Yeah. And I think the other one, which is very, probably all three of us can relate to this, but probably Kristen, from what you and I have talked about, probably you and I more, is being a kid and being a complete little social freak of a kid and other people not understanding you at all and not you not being able to relate to them and not knowing why they're not relating to you. And then when you figure out one social rule, that becomes your dogma. That is your Bible. And you're like,
right.
Oh, yes, okay, I figured out this one thing. And if you see someone else violating that rule, like doing something a little strange, you want to distance yourself from them as much as possible to be like, I'm not in that tribe. I am not one of the freaks. Look,
exactly.
Look at me. I figured it out.
I'm normal.
Yes.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Look at that freak over there.
I find that I do that today all the fucking time, and I have to catch myself doing it.
I see this all the time in myself where I find someone, I'm like, well, they're one of us, but then they don't follow the rules. And I'm like, ooh, get away from me. And it could be, and it's not even like someone who's like a bit too chatty or like really, really nice. But I don't know. I see it in myself, but it's not, I don't stop myself from doing it. My own worst enemy. Like, I'm not a nice girl, you know?
Totally. You are a nice girl. You always say that, but you're actually
I'm not
like,
nice.
Yes, you are, Kristen. You are.
I'm nice when I choose to be.
You're a very harsh critic of yourself. But I think another aspect of that, on top of like the trauma around just socializing as neurodivergent children and like internalizing these rules, is also on top of everything is also the autistic rigidity around rules. So it's not just this is activating shame in me. It's also like, but that's the rule. Why aren't you following the rule? So it's like an added thing of like that autistic need for rules.
It's so big. Yeah, I love rules so much. But also, they have to be my rules. If someone else gives me a rule, a very good example of this. So my mother was extremely strict with us as kids and very, very, very protective, extremely afraid of everything around. So she would like really try, don't do this, it's not safe. Don't do that, it's not safe. And so all I ever wanted to do was everything that I wasn't supposed to do. So now today, as a full-blown 32-year-old, this was a few years ago, if Justin ever tells me not to do something for my safety, so here is the example. We were driving cross country in an RV with 2 dogs. And we were stopping at truck stops quite frequently in order to like refuel the RV. Truck stops, not the safest place. Truck stops in the middle of like rural Missouri, not the safest place in the whole world. But I'm not thinking about this. This isn't really something that I think about. I literally do not think about safety in that way.
I know you don't. You like leave your car unlocked. You leave your door unlocked. It drives me crazy.
Lock anything. I don't lock anything. It's
and you've only had stuff stolen from your car a handful of times, so
exactly, it's fine.
Why do it? Why learn a lesson?
Of value. And so
didn't they steal your engine once?
What?
My engine, Grace? It was the battery. Do you know anything about Jesus Christ?
No, I don't.
Steal.
That's still like
They stole your battery. That's still something very important and crucial to the car.
You can't lock. Look. That's not about locking the car. The battery's in the hood. Anyway, this is not relevant.
Yeah,
you have to be able to get the hood unlocked.
You can't open the hood.
You can't open the hood.
Locked.
Okay.
Thank you. I don't point. So I was right. Thank you, Kristen. Tori.
Chris, do you know anything?
Do you know anything about cars? You've never stolen anything important,
right? Look, I didn't even know you could.
Nothing I could have done.
Well, I guess it depends on how old your car is. There's some cars.
No, don't give her excuses.
There's some cars out there.
The car
couldn't have been done.
Quite old. Anyway, the point is,
we'll never know.
I was taking the dogs for a walk at the truck stop at nighttime in the dark, and Justin was like, "Can you please not do that?" And I said, "Why?" It is not. He said, "It is not safe." To which I responded, filled with rage. I was like, "I will walk these dogs in the dark behind the dumpster at the truck stop in Daisy Dukes and a tank top. I will walk them in a bikini if it is required." As if he's just saying it
to control you and not like for your safety.
Yes, because it is 12-year-old Tori responding to my mother, not 32-year-old Tori responding to her perfectly reasonable husband who does not want her to get trafficked.
Yes. Yeah. I suspect that you might have PDA autism, which is it's known as either persistent drive for autonomy or pervasive demand avoidance. I like persistent drive for autonomy, where it's truly like triggering your nervous system. And you'll see this a lot. Like I notice it in myself, and I've seen it in kids before, where you ask them if they want to do something and they say no without even like thinking about it. And then if you think about it for 2 minutes, you're like, actually, yeah, that sounds nice. But it's like you have to get that no out as the way to like reclaim your autonomy.
I don't do that with everybody, but I do that with my mother, even now. It doesn't matter what. Do you want tea? No. Do you want to go for a walk? No. And I'm
How
in my
dare
30s.
you ask me?
I'm in my 30s. Oh, can I make you a pancake? No. Like, it just, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. Might be something to work on with some like inner child healing. Probably.
Fun.
Doesn't that sound
Yay.
good? All right. We need to touch on Justin real quick, because Justin has
special creature.
gained quite a bit of lore on this podcast because he loves responding to our polls. He never listens to the podcast.
He's
loves
our
getting in
number
those
one
polls.
responder.
Yeah, he really is.
That's amazing.
He's got a lot of thoughts, a lot of opinions.
And he wants to share them with you.
He really does.
Excited.
He doesn't want to listen to the podcast. He just wants to share his opinions.
He'll listen to his episode, I bet.
Maybe you think he'll listen to this one?
Well, if he
No,
ever
in the
comes on.
future.
Oh, yeah.
He wants to come on. He told me at Campbell's wedding. He's got a lot of stuff to talk about. He wants to talk about social rules, talk about your neighbor, I guess.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And you suspect that Justin is neurotypical, which I can see that.
He is very neurotypical, and his rigidity around social rules is really interesting. I think it's one of those, like, we've gotten into it in therapy quite a bit. And the explanation is that he's the oldest child, and all of the siblings younger than him, some of them had issues growing up, like developmental issues or mental health issues or just regular health issues. So everybody was always having like stuff. And at the time, everybody was like a whole team of girls. So teenage girls all together, all four of them. So Justin was just always the one who didn't have his role in the family was, you don't have to worry about me. I'm doing it okay. You don't have to worry about me. There's so much other stuff to worry about. I'm just going to like do stuff right so that I don't have to be a problem. And so when he sees people in his peer group being a problem by not planning ahead or asking for help or not offering to help when someone else is doing something, things like that, he's like filled with rage because he's like, I've always had to do this on my, like, I've always had to do this my whole life. How dare you not have this like stress in the back of your mind about being a burden?
That makes a lot of sense. And I really feel like that's like all humans struggle with that on some level of like anything that we're judgmental about. It's because we've been shamed for it and we've internalized this idea. Yeah, it's just a projection of what we've been told is shameful. Yeah. It's really interesting. Yeah. All right. We've already kind of touched on your neurodivergence a little bit, and I was planning to ask you kind of more focusing on your ADHD, because for the last however many years, that has been kind of you have acknowledged that you have ADHD, but up until recently, you were always fighting me about the autism aspect. And recently, it seems like you have come around to finally acknowledging and accepting that about yourself. So I think we're going to pivot a little bit and talk. Yeah, for sure. One of us pivot and talk about AuDHD, the combination of ADHD and autism, because we were texting before this about how it's really is like a third diagnosis. It's not like a 50-50, half ADHD and half autism. It's like the combination of those sometimes like very opposing traits really do create this third category of traits.
Yeah.
So, but the ADHD diagnosis for you came first. So when did that happen and what changed?
The ADHD diagnosis did come first. And that happened. God, when did that happen? That happened probably 5 years ago. And it didn't actually come about because I suspected that I had ADHD. It came about through a bunch of other issues that I was having. I was really struggling with anxiety and depression big time. At the time, I had a really intense boss. I don't know if I ever told, I had a really intense boss who was breaking so many social rules left and right, but was in charge of so many people. And it was this constant situation of not being certain of where I stood or where other people stood. And it was a really socially distressing situation. And for me, social anxiety is absolutely at the core of my being. And yes. I had a friend who was recently diagnosed with ADHD who started taking Adderall and explained to me, holy crap, after I started taking Adderall, my social anxiety is so much easier to manage and I deal with it so much less. Maybe you should try that. And I was fascinated. I was like, I don't understand. How would that help? Like, how would taking a stimulant make me less socially anxious? And he was like, I literally don't know. I don't understand the, chemistry, the mechanics of it, but it has helped me a lot. So I was like, okay, I will try anything at this point. Cause I had been on an SSRI at that point for several years. And when I first took an SSRI, it was completely life-changing. I felt the way that I described it was, there was this dog that lived on my block. Okay. He was around the block from me and he lived on this porch and he had no leash. He was super old, super chill. And he would just like lay on the porch. And other dogs, when you walk by their house, they flip out and they start barking and they're like freaking out and all the time. And they're like, oh my God, hyper aware of everything happening and they lose their shit. And when we walk by this house, this dog like just chills, looks up at us as we pass and then like carries on sitting and doing his thing. And he's not on a leash. He has nothing holding him back, but he's just like stays where he belongs, doesn't run out into the street. And he's like, good to go. And when I first started taking an SSRI, Justin asked me, how does it feel? And I was like, honestly, like, I feel like that dog around the block. Like for the first time, I understand what it is like to be that dog, to be unflustered. And after a while, that kind of leveled out. Like that like first surge of contentment, I guess, and calm leveled out after a while with the SSRI. And also my career and my job became way more taxing and complicated. That added to it as well. And so that's kind of when I started to take Adderall. It was after Mitchell had mentioned that it helped with his social anxiety so much. And I was talking to my psychiatrist about it. I was like, hey, my friend mentioned this. I don't like ADHD isn't necessarily something that I really connect with. Like I've always done excellent academically. I've always been very like, on it about getting stuff done, AKA extremely rigid. So like, I don't know, but like, I'm interested in trying this. And he was like, yeah, I've actually heard it being used as a treatment for social anxiety. So let's give it a go. And it again was another one of these huge life-changing experiences where I'll be like so revved up and nervous and flustered and like, oh my God, like my flitting from thing to thing in my head, and then take an Adderall and be able to take a nap and relax. I don't necessarily, I guess I still struggle with connecting with both of those diagnoses, to be honest with you, because like you're saying, some of the conflicting symptoms of them make it difficult for me to identify strongly with ADHD, but I identify so strongly with autism. Like that just explains my whole childhood and a lot of my behaviors and neuroses now. And I think getting to your other question of like why I fought the label for so long is I definitely struggle with the zeitgeisty nature of these diagnoses big time. I think if everybody has it, does anybody have it is a thing that people say all the time. And I think the answer is like, yeah, of course, like there's still, if you have it, you have it. If you're taking meds that help you and you feel better after taking those meds, or, engaging in other coping skills and mechanisms that help you, then that's great. Then it doesn't really matter. But I think what really bothered me about it was this, I had people in my life, and sometimes, still have people in my life here in Seattle, who, when we're talking about these diagnoses, and I see it on social media all the time, oh, I have ADHD, and so therefore this is why that. I have autism, and this is why that. And so I do that. I use that logic as well of like, oh, I get really hyper fixated on my special interests and don't know when to stop talking about them, or I will get so locked in at a day of work and work nonstop at my computer for 9 hours, and I won't get up to pee or eat or drink or anything. And the only reason why I do some of those things is because Justin will come over to me to bring me lunch or water. And then I look at him completely filled with rage because he's interrupting me as he brings me my food, And so like that.
What an asshole.
What an asshole, right? How dare you give me a kiss and lunch?
Yeah, don't interrupt me.
Don't interrupt me. I'm winning the bread here. But I think my issue with it is this sense of this like deep value of accountability. Like I love in the past couple of years where I have like relaxed my rigidity around this, or my like strong anti-opinion around it. In the last couple of years, I have learned a lot about explanations for some behavior patterns that I have now and behavior patterns that I had as a kid. And also I think so that education has helped me understand myself a lot better and also gain a lot more self-compassion, which I think is really useful.
Mm-hmm.
I still really don't like, I really don't like using it as an excuse for when I'm behaving badly or causing other people problems or something like that. And I don't, which I don't really do. And I don't like it when other people use it as an excuse when they're, in my mind, quote unquote, behaving badly or causing other people problems, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's hard to know like what is being used as kind of like a self-limiting excuse. Like, yeah, I can't do this because I have ADHD, where it's like, as opposed to like, it's more challenging because I have ADHD, but it doesn't mean that you can't do it, versus like how much of that for you is like internalized ableism still of
totally.
Well, if you need help or supports, like, yeah, just do it. Just don't be lazy. Just why do you need these accommodations that I have like through shame and hard work and like totally draining myself, that I've like overcome the need for those things. So why haven't you done that? And I do see that with you sometimes, where I think you are very critical of yourself and having needs and struggling socially, things like that. I think because you have had to work so hard at it from such a young age, especially growing up and not really like having any friends, kind of being, a bit of a loner in school until you got a bit older. I think you've just like, for so long and from such a young age, you've so deeply internalized these ideas of like not asking people for things, not needing supports, being super smart and independent, and like seeing your identity in those things. And so, yeah, I think, it's hard to kind of separate those two of, all right, what are you legitimately seeing as people kind of using it as an excuse, which is completely valid. I do think that's a problem, especially in social media, where, people, and it happens with everything. It'll happen with regardless. Everything. There's not really a way to stop
it's
it, because people be like,
topic at all.
Exactly. Anything OCD, like, any anxiety, people will do, oh my God, I'm so OCD. I like to have my socks matching. Like, people will just minimize these things because they want to relate. And so I don't think the solution is to just like, well, we just like stop talking about it because we don't want it to lose its power. But yeah, how do we find this middle ground of like, okay, so not everyone has it. There's like, these traits are relatable to everyone, but it's like the extremeness of it that is what becomes like a disorder. And yeah, I think what is like self-limiting and people kind of excusing why they can't do something versus like what are legitimate needs that we as neurodivergent people have kind of like internalized this ableism around of, well, just, I don't know, just do it. Just make it, just force yourself and try, like, push yourself way past your limits and, I don't know, burn yourself completely out and just make it happen. What's the problem?
Yeah, big time. I think that, like, the balance that you're talking about is, I feel like, closer to where I'm getting in my own head of, I think my knee-jerk my knee-jerk response early on was in opposition to this like over pathologization question mark.
Pathologizing,
over pathologizing of normal behavior of just stuff like that people do all the time. It's like, oh, I forgot my keys, must be ADHD, you know,
I'm so ADHD.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That type of a thing. Whereas being able to take in and understand and learn more about the behavior patterns, how they're linked together, where they come from, has helped me a lot and has helped me make accommodations for myself that I wouldn't have made otherwise, and that have made me calmer and more easily able to move through life. Because if I'm acknowledging, look, the reason why you feel so shitty, the reason why you feel so dysregulated is because your clothes are too fucking tight. You cannot wear clothes like that and be comfortable. If you change that about yourself, then maybe you'll go out into the world and not throw a hissy fit about something completely different.
Exactly. Like some of those accommodations are so easy to make. You just have to know what's going on in order to make them.
Exactly. Some of them are so small, and it's things like sound sensitivity and sensitivity to touch and temperature and all of these different things. Like I pack a bag for myself, no matter where I go, with layers up, layers down. There's a bathing suit. There's a little activity in there for if I get bored. There's a snack. Like there's all of these different things where I'm basically, by having the knowledge about autism and ADHD that I have now, I'm able to better accommodate for myself, which makes me happier and also makes everyone around me happier.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you have like the most intense sensory needs of like almost anyone I know. Like I feel like that for me was the biggest thing
overwhelming
at the beginning, where I was like, Tori's autistic.
We need like a Tori, what's in our bag kind of deal, where you show us like all your
what's in your bag.
I want to know.
Okay. We'll get this one is not completely packed because I'm not like actively going on a walk, but I will gather the things that normally. Sure. Okay. So we have in here my film camera, because that is one of my new hobbies. And if I ever am without it in a spot where I think I would have a photo that would be nice, I throw a complete meltdown in my head because I'm like, how did you not have your camera?
God damn it.
This is so ridiculous. So that's
so
with me all the time. And I also really like it because it is this shape, which is so smooth and nice. And I really like things that are this shape. It fits really good in your hand and it's very smooth and you can touch it and it just slides like this.
Ooh,
which is
I like the noise.
Love
Where
that.
do people still develop photos? Is that still a thing?
Yeah. I send it into a dark room in LA that a friend told me about. And I couldn't find this shirt. It's in here because I packed it as a layer and for one of my walks. And I just
mystery solved.
There you go.
Great. So here's this shirt that I couldn't find. Here is this workbook that is so long. It's a workbook on deciding whether or not to have a kid, because I have been ruminating on it and obsessing about it for, oh my God, years, months. And so I'm slowly working through this very methodical workbook, which is hilarious.
Gotta make an informed decision.
Yeah. Have a notebook to write all my notes in about that. And various pens, clay sculpting tools, because sometimes I put Sculpey clay in here and I play with Sculpey clay on my walks. What else do I have?
How long are these walks?
Earplugs. Hours.
Okay.
The walks, well, yeah, it depends. They're at least an hour and sometimes they're hours. And I just walk for, this is on my list of Menti H walk. Okay. Yeah, I was going to tell you guys about this. So this is the thing.
Please.
I love going for walks so much, and it is really, really good for my brain. And I do it in a way where like I'll pack all these different activities because I don't know if I'm going to stop on my walk and like chill somewhere for a while or if I'm just going to keep walking. But I always have my headphones on and I'm listening to, like, some of the walks are podcast walks and some of them are dance walks. So if it's a podcast walk, I have to have a lineup of like really cognitively stimulating podcasts to listen. Like, they can't be chit chat podcasts. Like, it has to be like deep science or like I don't know, something that I'm like, oh, I'm learning and absorbing information. Huzzah, this is great. And so then I'm walking around and listening and I'm like, oh, this is so great. I'm getting more information and I'm walking and moving at the same time. And it's like very much the Chris Traeger thing of, if I keep my mind stimulated and my body moving at all times, I will not fall into a bottomless pit of despair. And
Yep.
That is me.
You are a
all
bit
the
of
time.
Chris Traeger. Yeah. Okay. And that's it for part 1 of our conversation with Tori. We'll be back next week with part 2. Sorry to jump scare you and kind of just pop up suddenly in a different shirt and no one is here but me. But we were originally planning to only talk for 1 hour with Tori. And so we kind of created a shortened, consolidated episode outline. And then you know how it is when ADHDers get to talking. We ended up going for 2 anyways, even though we only decided to do 1 episode. So I'm just going to kind of cut our conversation in half. I think this is a pretty good stopping point. Sorry to kind of cut things off without warning, but we're doing our best, you guys know. So yeah, come back for part 2. In part 2, we talk about AuDHD and traumatic brain injuries. Tori went through a really traumatic car accident a few months ago, and she's had a lot of brain changes in her ADHD needs, her autism needs, everything since then. So when we come back with part 2, she's going to share a bit about that and kind of how she's recovering and ways she's accommodating herself. And we get into a couple silly segments. Even we didn't plan to do a whole silly segments episode, but we ended up having the time. So I got Tori to share some of her quirks and a pizza secret, which is wonderful. So yeah, come back for part 2 and hear the rest of that. In the meantime, you guys, you know what to do. You can follow us on all the social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, join our Reddit group. You can watch full-length videos of our episodes on YouTube if you're not already watching. And thank you guys for watching. I think we're finally getting more comfortable being on camera and getting into the flow of things. So yeah, if you want to come kind of see our faces as we talk a bunch, come join us on YouTube at Weirds of a Feather. And yeah, you can join our Patreon. I'm about to record a NDTV episode about Abed from Community, who is a really, really wonderful autistic character. And I think he's a good one to talk about next. So if you want to kind of hear me info dump about all of Abed's autistic wonderful traits, then come join us on Patreon at Weirds of a Feather. And yeah, I don't know. I think that's it. I guess I'll squawk myself out of here. Okay, see ya.